1, 2, 3.
Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new video. We are on the road to WrestleMania, which means it is time to make our official WrestleMania 42 predictions. We have me and Anthony here, but we also have some creators joining. Some are here now, some will join, throughout the video. But starting with our first creator here, we have Tyler, who we've seen before on the channel. But how's it going, Tyler? And welcome back.
I am doing great. Thanks for having me back. Been excited for this since you asked me last week, and ready for some WrestleMania.
Perfect. And moving over to from the OverandBuried Podcast, Mr. Brian, how are you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks, guys, for having me. Really excited. This is the best week of the year, so excited to see that we're getting into this.
Perfect. And our final creator we have for now is Mem. How are we doing today?
Good. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
No problem. And starting with you, Tyler, the first match I want to start with is we'll go night one and then into night two. But first match we have here is the Usos and LA Knight versus The Vision and I Show Speed. Who do you got?
I'm going LA Knight and the Usos. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like I Show Speed's being set up to be destroyed in this match and take the pin. And although they could go the opposite way, but I just feel like Usos and LA Knight have to win, or I don't know. That's just how I've been feeling. I don't really have a better way to say that one.
Perfect. And moving to you, Brian.
Yeah. So I think this is a good match to kick off the card night one. I believe it is free on ESPN, if I'm not mistaken, for that first hour. I Show Speed, Logan Paul, those two have international notoriety. We had, Jey Uso. He was on the Netflix debut of Major League Baseball. So to get more eyes on the product, to get people to buy ESPN subscriptions, I think, this is a good play by WWE or maybe TKO, whoever's making the decisions these days. But for me, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to say it's going to be Speed Vision to win this one. I think, Jay has had a kind of a turn in his character a little bit subtly that Jimmy doesn't see. Jimmy's kind of that go with the flow kind of guy. And I think that Jay is just going to ultimately cost them this match. Unintentionally or intentionally. So.
Yeah, moving to you, Anthony.
For this, I think I'm taking Jay, the Usos, and LA Knight here. Hopefully we get to see a little bit of Danhausen coming out. I think he might get involved a little bit, kind of screw over Speed. I think that will be funny. I think that's unfinished business going on, and he'll cost the match. And kind of going off what you said, Brian, I think it's a really fun way to start off the night. I think it's going to get the crowd really going. We know that they can all get the crowd pumping, especially with the inclusion of Speed. He's going to do something hilarious. I'm really looking forward to this. But give me the Usos and LA Knight.
Yeah, and I'll also be, sticking with the Usos and LA Knight here. Just because they took that loss to the Vision a few weeks ago where they lost their titles. I don't see them taking another, 2 losses in a row to the Vision. Maybe I'll be wrong. But when it comes to I Show Speed, he's always entertaining in the ring. He's one of the, few celebrities, if you can even call him that I enjoy watching in the ring because he takes all the spots. So I think they're setting up Speed here to probably take a pin, probably a 1D into a pin. But easily enough, I'll be taking the Usos and LA Knight. But last but not least, Mem, who do you got?
Well, considering that Speed is still technically cursed, I definitely think it's going to be LA and Usos who are winning this match. Unless somehow he gets uncursed by then, but I don't see that happening.
All right, and moving on to one of the matches that I'm excited about is our unsanctioned match we have between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. And right back up to you, Tyler. Who do you got between Drew and Jacob?
I agree. I'm really excited for this match. These guys are going to go all out and destroy each other. I feel like, well, everybody kind of knows the thing is Drew's working on the Highlander movie, but I feel like you can't take the momentum away from Jacob Fatu in my mind, just because I feel like he's the guy that kind of got derailed with the injury thing a couple months ago, and they just want to put that back on him and keep him rocking and rolling up and up and up. So, yeah, Jacob Fatu for me.
Perfect. And moving to you, Brian.
Yeah, for me, arguably this is the best match on the card. Probably the one that I'm most excited for night one. These two have been going blow for last several months. And Drew McIntyre, the past couple of years, you really can't deny that he's been part of some of the best feuds. Take his feud with Punk, in that battle that they had. Yeah, to your point, I think this is a match for Drew to lose, to have him go away for a little while, and I think Jacob Fatu is going to be pushed to the moon, like I think originally that they were looking to do. So,
Yeah. Perfect. I'll also be taking Jacob Fatu here, winning this match. I believe we'll see some bloodshed in here. I think it's going to be very, very hard hitting. Both men are going to beat the hell out of each other, and it's just going to be another match just to get this crowd roaring, and nothing short of that. I cannot wait.
Yeah, and I'll be taking Jacob as well. So far, I feel like, between these two, obviously last week we're filming this before SmackDown, but Drew's kind of had the upper hand these last couple weeks. So usually when you start to see that, you kind of start to mold who's going to win. But like you've all said, I think this match is going to be hard hitting. It's going to be great. I love these unsanctioned type of matches. I like what they've been doing with this feud as well. Like a couple weeks ago when they were just fighting nonstop all through SmackDown. So easy enough. I'll be taking Jacob Fatu as well. Moving to you, Mem.
I personally think Drew's going to win, but because we still technically don't know who attacked Jacob. Jacob said it's Drew, but Drew says he didn't. And I think whoever did attack Jacob's going to cost Jacob this match.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm definitely looking forward to that match. And moving on to a women's match, we have the four-way women's tag team championship match, which is Nia Jax and Lash Legend walking in with the belts versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley and Lyra versus the Bella Twins. Tyler, who do you got winning this four-way match?
I guess the biggest question with this match is Nikki Bella going to be able to wrestle? Because that was kind of it's going to come down to Saturday and they're going to decide. I would say if they are in the match, I have the Bellas winning. If they are not in the match, I think Lash and Nia retain. I just feel like that's kind of what they would have to do almost to continue it. And then maybe by Backlash, the Bellas could be ready or something because they could complain we didn't get our shot because Nikki was hurt or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of, it's up in the air. If the Bellas are there, they're winning. If not, I think the champs retain.
Perfect. And Brian?
Yeah, I have to just kind of go off of Tyler, piggyback on that. When this was first announced that the Bellas were going to be involved, I thought it would be a shoo-in, but because of the uncertainty of Nikki Bella's injury, I do feel that there's too many moving pieces. So I think I'm going to go with the safe bet here. I'm going to say Lyra and Bayley to go over and have Bayley get her WrestleMania moment that was taken from her last year by Becky. So I think that's kind of the safest bet here. And then, we could have some fallout from there.
Perfect.
I am also going to take Lyra and Bayley here because I believe we are going to get a Lyra Valkyria heel turn in the near future. I could see her turning on Bayley at some point, and I think them winning the championships is a good way to, start that feud off. I would love to see that going into SummerSlam. Maybe they even do it as quick as Backlash. I don't think so, but give me Lyra and Bayley.
Yeah, and I think because I totally forgot about Nikki Bella's injury, but I'm probably going the Bella Twins here. If the circumstances are still standing by WrestleMania. But just because I think WWE likes their, feel good moments. And I feel like given the Bella Twins, this win would, be a feel good moment for the fans, for them. So I'm easy enough going with the Bella Twins and, hopefully Nikki Bella looks all right in there. But moving on to your prediction, man.
If Nikki is able to compete, I do think it's going to be the Bellas. I just feel like it's probably long awaited. They didn't have a chance to compete for these titles, so they're definitely winning if able to. But if not, probably Bailey and Lyra.
All right, and moving on to the rematch between AJ Lee and Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Tyler, who do you got between these two?
As much as I'd like to see AJ Lee retain, I feel like Becky's going to win this. They've kind of just been hitting that way, in my opinion, and I don't know what the long-term status of AJ is past Mania. So, yeah, I just feel like Becky could take it and maybe not hold it very long, but at least put it back on her.
Perfect. And moving to you, Brian.
Yeah, for me, this was kind of a tough choice because AJ is part-time, right? And her best years are behind her. I don't know what Becky could do with another IC title run. So I have a feeling that AJ is going to retain. Possibly we get someone else in the mix, maybe Raw after WrestleMania. I'm kind of holding out that maybe Paige could come back and, history repeats itself there. Or maybe we have an NXT call up, maybe a JC Jane, a Sol Ruka. One of those, I think, could potentially take it off of AJ post-Mania.
Awesome.
Yeah, this one's actually kind of a toss-up for me with the idea of AJ Lee being pushed to, go after the World Championship. If they want to throw her in a feud with Liv Morgan in the future, if she wins at Mania, I'm not sure. The safe option, I guess, could be AJ retaining, which I do want to see that because I feel like there's more feuds down the line. She hasn't had a lot of feuds with the IC title yet. But I think with my honest prediction, I'm going to take AJ Lee to retain the belt here. I just think there's so much more on the bone they can do with it. A lot of other challengers that she can go through besides, Becky Lynch and Bailey. I think that's her only two feuds she's had so far. So I would like to see kind of that snowball more escalate and more matches be made.
And continuing off of that, we've really only seen AJ Lee in like one real feud. I mean, which is Becky Lynch. We saw the one match she had with Bailey, but other than that, really nothing much. So I'm gonna be taking AJ Lee here as well. I'm just I'm confused because that means she would have I think it's 3 technical wins over Becky Lynch if you count the intergender match. So don't know how I feel about her going 3-0 against Becky, but I do think she is going to win at WrestleMania and hopefully start to make new feuds. Like we mentioned, that Raw after Mania, maybe we see something. But I'd like her to win this title and then move on from the Becky Lynch feud and move on to some other feuds with some other woman. But simple enough, I'll be taking AJ Lee. And lastly, we got Mem.
Yeah, I also agree. I think AJ will win. I just feel like there's just so much more she can do with this title, and I just feel like WrestleMania is just too soon to lose it. Plus, this will be her first WrestleMania match in a decade. So it'd be a very big moment for her, and I don't think she'll lose.
Yeah, and one of the matches on air that the next one we'll be talking about got interesting last night. I think I'm kind of excited for it because we, saw a little bit of development with this feud, but it is Seth Rollins versus the ring general Gunther. Tyler, who do you got?
This is another one of those ones I was kind of up in the air on, but I feel like Gunther could win this because Braun Breaker shows up and spears Seth Rollins and basically takes him out, and then Gunther picks up the easy win, and then basically keeps Gunther strong because they can keep him rolling as that big heel guy, and the Braun and Seth feud can get rolling.
Awesome. And Brian, who do you got?
Yeah, Gunther Seth, to me, on paper, this is the best pure wrestling match that we have for Saturday. And despite it being the least build match, it is gotten pretty entertaining. I think the original plan was Seth versus Braun. I think I've read that he is apparently medically cleared, but I think they're going to save his comeback for maybe that could be Raw after WrestleMania. So as we know that Gunther has been in the works with Paul, and Paul's going to have to return a favor to him. So I think Gunther ends up winning this match. Probably not clean. Maybe we get some hooded figures that come in and nobody reveals themselves and Seth is distracted. But I think Gunther is going to get the victory here. And post Mania is when the story starts, when Paul has to return the favor to Gunther. And I think that sets up Gunther versus Brock at SummerSlam.
Yep. Tyler, my prediction is like word for word the same as yours. I believe we get Braun Breaker coming back here. I think, like we all said, I think Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins was the original plan for Mania. The unfortunate injury costed it, and what better way to do it than having him interfere this match? And then we can get that build. It's going to be a great one, I think, and I'm looking forward to it. So give me Gunther winning this match.
Yeah, and when it comes to this match, I will be picking Gunther as well. I wish either one of these guys didn't have to take a pin here, but I think that's where WWE kind of backed themselves into a hole with even like the Rey Mysterio, rumors that he was supposed to fight Gunther, but didn't end up doing that. But when it comes to this match, I think we probably will see a Braun Breaker interference, unfortunately, because I think putting these two men in a match is 30-minute classic between these two. So hopefully we at least see a lot of the match before, the interference, if there's any. But do think, like we mentioned, I think there will be a Braun Breaker return here, and he will cost Seth Rollins in some sort of way. But moving on to you, ma'am.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think Braun Breaker is returning at WrestleMania, and I think it's most likely going to be this match to help Gunther win. And if it's not this match, it'll probably be the Brock Lesnar versus Opa match. But Gunther's probably going to win with a returning Braun Breaker interference.
Perfect. And just joining us is Mr. Josh, who we've seen on the channel before. But Josh, we were just talking about Seth Rollins versus Gunther.
Oh man,
what is your prediction for that match?
Gosh, I gotta. That's a tough one, man. These two are very good wrestlers. Seth being the better one in my opinion. But I might have Seth Rollins going over. But I'm just looking forward to being a exciting match and entertaining.
Perfect. And moving on to our first women's world championship match, which is Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan, which out of all the women's matches, I've said this is the one I'm most excited for here. But Tyler, who do you have between Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a fun match. It's been somewhat of a fun feud for the most part. I mean, they've really been laying it into each other and stuff. Obviously, we've seen the damages that have been caused. If it ain't Liv Morgan, I'm shocked, just because between the music video, they had that photo shoot with her and Dom both had photo shoots dropped a day. I mean, it's been live in the WWE, especially this past week. So then they're going to strap the title on her and shoot her to the top. I mean, she's already at the top, but just put the rocket on her, as they say.
Perfect. Then moving to you, Brian.
Yeah, so just a fun fact: Women's Royal Rumble winners are 5-3 overall in win-loss, and Liv finished second, I believe, on 2 separate occasions. So I'm very conflicted because this is the women's match that I want to see the most. But what Tyler said, with the music video. Everything that they're doing with her, I just feel like you can't not put her over in this one. Only way I see her losing is if we get some sort of Raquel, Roxanne type of turn, because the first domino in the Judgment Day has fallen with Finn being kicked out. So, but I'd have to go Liv here.
Perfect.
Yeah, I also got Liv going over here. It's just been Liv, like you said, every single week. The inclusion of Raquel, Roxanne, the music video, everything with Dom. It would be a very surprising swerve if Stephanie were to retain here. But I see Liv having a huge 2026 remainder of the year, and I think a way to start that off is by giving her this belt. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and with me, this is just complete bias because I have all the Liv Morgan stuff back there. Me and Anthony met her a couple weeks ago, so this is complete bias. But I'll be taking Liv Morgan as well. I think the path they're going here is I feel like the Raw after Mania, maybe somewhere down the line, we'll see either Roxanne Perez or I'm leaning more towards Raquel turning on Liv Morgan. I think that's the path they're going to go with this. And I think Liv Morgan's going to have a huge 2026. So I'll be taking Liv Morgan as well to become our new champ. But moving to you, man.
Yeah, I also believe that Liv's going to win. I just feel like the feud has just kind of how it's been building up. It would make no sense for her to lose. And the only way I would see her lose is if, Roxanne costed her specifically, because we still don't technically know where she stands after they kicked out Finn, and Finn did bring her in. So I feel like if she does lose, it would be because of that, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Perfect. Last but not least, Josh, who do you got winning this?
Well, I think you and Anthony have seen my posts about
Yep.
Me being a fan of Liv Morgan. I'm team Liv. Like you guys said, the music video, and how she's been booked since she's come back. Yeah, she's got to get her title back, man.
Yeah, and moving on to our night one main event, which I know has a lot of controversy around it, but we have Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, and as we know, Pat McAfee will be in the corner of Randy Orton, and Jelly Roll will be in the corner of Cody Rhodes. Tyler, who do you got winning?
This matchup, yeah, as you said, the controversy is definitely there, and I just feel like there's a lot more bigger things possibly behind this match. The way they've been kind of hinting at it. I mean, we've seen obviously the Aleister Black watching people. We've had Pat even once, I think in one of his promos said there's something bigger going on, or you don't want to know who's really involved in this, that type of thing. I mean, Cody, I feel like Cody's going to lose. I just feel like because the Pat said the whole I'm going to go away if Randy loses, and I don't feel like they're going to get rid of Pat yet, at least. So yeah, I think there's something bigger to this whole thing, and I don't know if it's a corporation type thing we're going to get again or what, but yeah, Randy has to win in my opinion to make this continue into more of a story, even if the fans aren't 100% on board with it.
Perfect. And Brian?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more there. This feud should have went a completely different direction with the history there. So I think that's a miss by WWE. But Cody's going to get booed in that stadium, just like he did last year against John Cena. The fans wanted to see number 17, and that's going to be the same case here. The fans are going to want to see number 15 for Randy. So Cody's going to get booed. And I don't like the involvement with Pat and Jelly Roll. And they wouldn't bring Pat back for a couple of weeks for him to say, hey, if Randy loses, I'll go away for good. That would be a big miss if Cody ends up winning this match. And that'll be like Randy's heel turn all for nothing, in my opinion. So I got Randy here.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think they really found a way to make this feud questionable. Unfortunately, like we said, they have 20 years of history with one another, mentor versus mentee. It should have just been that. Sometimes simple is better. In this case, simple was better, but I believe that Randy Orton should go over here. Number 15, we all want to see it. He is a seasoned heel, and him being a heel with this belt, if they can somehow pivot out of the inclusion of Pat McAfee post-Mania, I feel like his run can be very, very good. And I'm looking forward to that. I think they might be hearing the audience. Hopefully, they find a way to get himself out of it, and Randy Orton wins title number 15 and goes on a great run.
Yeah, when it comes to this match as well, I'm going to be taking Randy Orton as well. Just because, a couple weeks ago, even before Patty McAfee joined, I said Randy's going to win, probably go on a massive run here. I don't know what feuds he's going to run into, but like we all said, hopefully Pat, he'll probably still be there, but hope they kind of go away from him somehow. But with this match, there's probably going to be some sort of shenanigans. Don't know, what's going to happen exactly, but I will be taking Randy Orton here and moving on to you, Mem.
Yeah, I also think Randy's going to win, especially because the past couple of years his booking has been a little questionable. So I feel like this will kind of be like his year. Plus, I don't think there's anything else Cody can really do with that title. I feel like he's done kind of everything that he could. So I definitely think Randy's winning.
Perfect. And right up to you, Josh.
So, like you said, Owen, even before Pat McAfee joined the storyline here, I had Randy going over. I think everyone here has been a big fan of Randy. And we could talk all day about the Pat McAfee situation, and it's embarrassing, it's disgusting. This is the first time they've locked, up. They only had one match, which was I think the King of the Ring in Saudi. So, yeah, man. I love Cody, I love Randy, but I'm going Randy.
Awesome, and right up to you, MarWrasslin. I know you just got in here, but we're talking about Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. Welcome to the podcast. And who do you got winning?
Appreciate you.
Who do you have winning this main event?
Okay, first of all, can you guys hear me? You guys can hear me good?
Yeah.
Yep, you're all good, brother.
All right, for sure. I definitely got Randy. Randy's my GOAT, if y'all don't know. So it's a little biased, but at the same time, Randy, it's no way that you have Randy Orton at his age win the Elimination Chamber, you don't have him win. Cody Rhodes is in his prime still. He's a little bit younger than Randy, but still at the same time, Cody's in his prime, and you can always put the belt back on him at any point. So you wasting years of Randy Orton's career to have him go put Cody over when he's already over makes no sense. So give Randy the win. And if you really want Cody as your top guy past WrestleMania 42, you're going to let Cody win, because if he beats Randy in Vegas, people are going to hate him even more. Because we know how people feel about Cody now. We know how people felt when he beat Drew McIntyre, let alone Randy Orton at WrestleMania. You got to give Randy the dub. This is Randy Orton. He's winning.
Awesome, and Mar, I'll go right back up to you. We'll switch up the order, but next we have the Intercontinental Championship match, which we know is a ladder match between Penta, Javon, Dragon Lee, Rusev, JD McDonough, and Rey Mysterio. Who do you got winning?
That one I think is probably one of the most unpredictable matches. A lot of people say they want Javon winning, but I say I don't think it really makes sense, because they didn't even give Javon a belt when he was down in NXT. His whole time in NXT, he didn't win one belt. So you tell me he comes up to the main roster and then he wins in, 3 months? I just don't think that makes sense. So I think the only options that we have is Penta retaining, or I think they might go Rusev. So I think it's one of those two.
Perfect, and we'll move to you, Josh.
So I was telling my friend on another podcast of ours, if they're going to take it off of Penta, they got to give it to Javon. Javon's the future. And like Mar said, he was in NXT and never had a belt. But when you talk about the popularity that Javon brings, it's either Penta retains or Javon, takes it. So.
Perfect, and we'll move to you, Tyler.
I think either Penta or like you said, I think Rusev would be an interesting guy to win this, because he's really kind of the odd man in this match, because he's not really the high flyer. He's more the brawling brute guy. But yeah, I feel like there could be a surprise with that. One other thing that really just honestly, it popped in my mind today, which would be really weird. I don't know if they do it, but if Rey Mysterio won this and Dominic loses his title, and then because he did bring up the deadbeat dad thing again this week, so if Rey has a title and Dominic doesn't, there could be problems there, and that could lead to something else. So I don't know. That would be something weird, but I'm gonna go Rusev. I just really feel like they could do that because he's kind of the odd man that I don't know why he's in there almost with all these other guys.
Perfect, and we'll move to you, Mem.
Yeah, I feel like this match, like, almost anybody could win, but I feel like WWE has been really trying to push Javon Evans recently, so I feel like he could most definitely win, and it's definitely wouldn't, I don't know, I just feel like he could, or they could give it to Ray and have Dom take it off of him, because I don't know if it's true, I just heard that the reason they didn't run Ray and Gunther was because Ray wanted Dom to retire him, so that could be like a good way to kind of build that up.
Perfect, and Anthony, who do you got?
I'm sorry to be boring, guys, but I'm taking Javon. I feel like Javon deserves this. He's been on the main roster now for so little time, but it feels like he's done so much. The fans love him. I love him, and I feel like he could go on a great run with this title. Obviously, we've talked about how he never got a run with the NXT title, which I think is a little bit concerning. I wish he was able to have that, but I think him winning the IC title is a good way to reward him, and I believe that he'll do wonders with it. I think he'll go on a great run, and it'll be entertaining, flashy, and great. So give me Javon winning it.
Perfect, and moving to you, Brian.
Yeah, so this match, I honestly would be happy with whoever comes out the victor here. Even JD, like, surprisingly, I feel like he's probably the least amount to win, but you know, Finn's out of the Judgment Day. The saying was, "Listen to Finn, you win." You know, if JD can get his WrestleMania moment there, maybe that causes some dissension with he and Dom. Who knows? But I think they've invested too much into Penta. He's been chasing after the IC title since really he debuted, it seemed. So I don't think he's going to lose now. And I think coming out of Mania, they could maybe pin, Penta versus Ray versus Dragon Lee, maybe in AAA or something like that, to have it be a true intercontinental championship being defended. So I'm going to say Penta retains.
Yeah, and when it comes to me, Tyler, I really like that Rey Mysterio idea. I wasn't even thinking of the Ray versus Dominic potential match with the title, but I'll be going Javon Evans here. I think, week by week, he's been putting on great matches. When he was first brought up, he was kind of in the same feuds with the Luchadors, so I'm glad they moved on from that. He's in his first real title match here. I'm really excited for the spots that we're going to see in this match, but I'll be simply taking Javon Evans just based on the entertainment factor that we are probably going to see from him if he goes and wins this title on Sunday. So moving on, we got a match that I think I said should have main evented night one, which is Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. And Mar, I'll start with you for that.
I feel like how their build went between Oba and Brock, I feel like it's a little bit more unpredictable because y'all know how most of the time WWE does a thing where if you dominating on the shows at WrestleMania, you losing. So
Yeah.
as much as I'm not like, I feel like Obafemi, especially with that promo last night on Raw, bro, really has grown on me. I'm not the biggest Obafemi fan, but he should win. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro's the future. Brock almost 50. And I don't think people give Brock enough credit for this. When it's necessary, Brock gonna put you over. Like, he gonna put you over. And I think WWE will face so much scrutiny and just too much hate if they let Brock Lesnar win this. So I think they gotta let Obafemi win. I'm going Obafemi.
Perfect. And moving to you, Josh.
Yeah, I got Oba winning. That promo last night, man, I posted it in 2 videos. That was just like impressive stuff. Because if you're able to drop a promo like that on Paul Heyman. Like, come on now. And for a side note, I don't think anyone should ever retire Brock Lesnar. Like, you just don't retire a guy with like that size. But I got Oba winning.
Perfect. And Tyler, who do you got?
I'm with everybody so far. Oba, I feel like Oba's going to win. I do agree though with Mark, is as he was saying, normally the build, and then last night really Oba got over because that promo he cut was absolutely phenomenal, and it just made me feel even more like he's going to be a mega star in the WWE just because of everything. But yeah, Brock and like it was brought up, Brock will put people over, and I feel like this is the time to do it. And Oba, I don't know, he's just that guy right now. Everybody loves him, and as you said, the backlash I think would be pretty dang big if Oba doesn't win this, and it isn't going to be the right type of backlash, I should say.
Perfect. And Ma'am, who do you got?
I think Oba will definitely win. I feel like the only reason he wouldn't is if for some reason if Braun Breaker doesn't return earlier in the night, he would return to help Brock. But I feel like Oba's probably going to win.
Perfect. And Anthony?
Yeah, I also got Oba Femi winning here. I think from week one of their build, when Oba hit Brock with a fall from grace, he put his foot on his chest, and you can just see that Brock is a huge fan of Oba. I feel like Brock's gonna put him over. He's gonna make him look powerful, strong. The thing I've been thinking about though is it gonna be like a 20-minute match, or is it gonna be a squash match? I've been thinking about that on both sides. Like, do you want Oba to absolutely destroy Brock, or do you want Brock to put on a fight? I'm leaning more towards Brock putting on a fight. I think they're both going to go hand in hand a little bit. But I think Oba is going to, make quick work of him. 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. And we're going to see him get that win, conquer the beast, and the ruler on top. So give me Oba Femi.
Perfect. And who do you got, Brian?
Yeah, so I'm going to go against the group here. I agree with everyone. Oba has positioned himself to be the next face of WWE. Look at his promo last night. Look at, him powerbombing Lesnar. Look at the shots that we had of the crowd, of the kids doing the strut. I think that second week post his start of the feud with Brock, Brock has been selling his ass off, so that's a sign that Brock respects him. He wouldn't just do that for anyone. But Brock just basically a couple months ago, he squashed John Cena at WrestlePalooza. I don't see Brock lose, and I'm looking from it as a lens post WrestleMania too. So I don't see Brock losing to both Oba and Gunther within the span of the next 3 to 4 months. Because I think it's going to build credibility to Gunther when Brock is potentially gone from the WWE. And I think we could, have Oba build Oba up. Look at WrestleMania 39, Cody lost. Look at WrestleMania 28, you saw Cena lost. They both were on, sitting at the edge of the ramp there. So Oba, I think, gets his WrestleMania moment. But I think this is going to be an emotional loss that's going to draw these fans in, and that's just going to push Oba even further. So because of that, I'm going to say Brock.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about that myself. Obviously, Brock has, his retirement's looming. So, like you said, I don't know if he wants to take 2 straight losses. There is that Backlash event as well. Don't know if he'll compete at that, but I'll be taking Oba Femi here. I just think when you have a star, it's been a while since they've had a guy like Oba Femi who, has come up to the main roster and has got us over as quick as he has. And I think with that momentum, we've seen them ruin superstars before. But when it comes to Oba Femi, I really don't think they're going to have him eat a loss at WrestleMania, and it would, start a great little resume for him beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. But simple enough, I'll be going Obafemi here. And moving to our next match, which also has, some controversy, I would say maybe, but we have Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams for the United States Championship. Mar, who do you got?
Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn. I'm gonna just say, if they let Sami Zayn walk out of Vegas with that United States Championship, he needs to go on witness protection or something like that, because there's no way he walks out of Las Vegas. People will want Sami Zayn gone. And I'm not talking just from the WWE. He is not safe nowhere because people is booing him now. And he only been champion for 2 weeks. So Trick Williams is winning. Trick Williams got to win. I will say they should have added Melo in the match and still have Trick win. But at the same time, regardless, Trick going to win. So I'm taking Trick Williams.
Perfect. And Josh, who do you got?
Yeah, I got Trick. I think WWE is in a position where they're just trying to showcase these new talents. Oba, Javon, Trick, even Lash. So I got Trick going over.
All right, and Tyler?
I'm going against the grain on this one and going Sami Zayn because Sami's going to turn heel. Sami's, if you think back to, let's bring this back to Karrion Kross. He wanted him to use the belt. I feel like something like that's going to happen in this match, and he's going to be the heel, and we're going to turn Trick, who's supposed to be a heel, into the baby because he's already a baby in a lot of people's minds, and basically as over as Obafemi, in my opinion, as far as with the crowd. But yeah, that's what I see happen, and I think Sami retains. I think we roll this back at Backlash, and maybe see what happens there. But I think Sami's escaping with that title because he's going full heel.
Perfect. And moving down to you, ma'am.
I'm kind of 50-50 on this one, but I think Trick's going to win, mainly because Sami Zayn does like putting over the younger talent. He put over Braun Breaker when he won the IC title, so I think he's going to do the same for Trick.
Perfect. And Anthony?
I'm going to also go with Trick here. I got to admit, when Melo lost the belt, I was crashing out. But after thinking about it a little bit more, I realized that there's a story here, and like what you said, Tyler, we've seen the hints of Sami Zayn turning heel dating back to Cross, and I think this is a good time to do it. And him losing the belt on another side, if he lost the belt to Trick, that could cement more of him turning heel. Another reason for him to crash out, be mad, take his anger out on somebody else. And they could run it back at Backlash, something like that, where he wants his rematch, he demands it, and that's where we see a full-blown heel turn from Sami Zayn. But for Mania, give me Trick.
Perfect. And who do you got, Brian?
Yeah, so first, got to say justice for Melo. I feel as though he probably should have been included on this card in a triple threat match here, especially after all the work that he's put in. But I think in this match, there's going to be a double turn. Trick obviously is the face. Sami's going to turn heel. And I have Trick going over here. You just can't deny him. Everyone's behind him.
Yeah, and I'll be going Trick Williams as well. I mean, like I said with Oba, he's another guy, an example of someone who's over. I can't wait for Trick's entrance to WrestleMania. It's probably going to be insane. So I think when you have people who are this over, I think you should, put titles on them right away before they get, cold, which I don't think Trick would, get cold. But with Trick being as over as he is right now, I think simple enough. I think you should put a title on him, like the United States Championship. So I'll be going Trick here. And moving on to a match, we have Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Don't even get me started why they announced Finn's coming out as the Demon weeks before Mania. But Mar, who do you got between Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio?
Dirty Dom, my guy, but people is still pissed off to this day that Finn lost to Edge. Dominic's getting squashed, gang. I don't even think the match gonna be 10. Dominic is getting squashed. It's Finn. Finn's winning.
Perfect. And Josh?
Yeah, I got Finn winning. They gotta continue to keep this character, looking strong. Um, Again, I hate the fact that they had to announce it, but that's just WWE nowadays. Trying to bring in more tickets and money, and so I got Finn.
Perfect. And Tyler?
I'm agreeing with him. I mean, the Demon, other than obviously the Edge thing, the Demon don't lose normally. So I just feel like, yeah, Dom's had the title long enough too. That's the other thing.
Perfect. And Mem?
I have to go with Dom. I just refuse to believe he's going to lose, but that's probably because when it comes to Dom, I'm the most biased person on the face of this planet. But I feel like the Demon Finn Balor has yet to win at a WrestleMania, and Dom's won one WrestleMania. So it's looking pretty good for him. And if the only reason he does lose is because of that stupid curse.
Awesome. And moving into you, Anthony.
Yeah, I don't think Dom's gonna get much offense in this match. I think Finn's gonna murder him. I think him just being the demon. I don't think they. I think they gotta make up for Finn losing as a demon to Edge, like we said. And they want to give the newer fans and us older fans a new taste of the demon Finn Balor, and I don't think there is a better way to do that than him just. I think it's going to be a squash match, so give me Finn Balor.
Perfect. And who do you got, Brian?
Yeah, so I believe Demon Finn's record is 6-2 on the main roster with those 2 losses to Roman and Edge. I believe he did win. Yeah, he won the Intercontinental Championship WrestleMania 35 against Lashley. So I think that was his last win as the Demon, if I'm not mistaken. But you can have him lose another match here at WrestleMania as the Demon, especially when WWE put it out on social media. That was a huge miss. And Finn's character would be dead after if he were to lose to Dom. So I got Finn going over.
Yeah, and I'll be taking Finn here as well, but there is an argument for Dominic winning. I mean, they've been hyping up the Demon character. Even last night, Dominic saying, I didn't, sign up to face the Demon. They're almost hyping it up like they want Dominic to take the win here so that, he has a win over the Demon. I could see them doing that, but I don't know, if they're going to do that. So I'm going to be taking Finn Balor here as well. Honestly, if it were me, I wish it was Finn without the Demon, but we get what we get here, so I'll be taking Finn Balor for this one. But moving on, right up to tomorrow with Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's Championship.
I feel like we see something interesting here. It's a world where Rhea Ripley is so over, so WWE would put the belt on her, and she really hasn't got one up on Jade the whole, road to WrestleMania. But I made a video about this last night. With how everything has been going with Io Sky and Rhea and Jade and the baddies and whatever the case may be, Io has been getting pinned week after week. We don't really see her take pins that much. So I think we see Rhea Ripley lose to Jade because Io finally turns on Rhea Ripley. I don't think Io likes what's going on, and I think she's going to take it out on Rhea at WrestleMania. So I think Jade's retaining.
Perfect. And Josh, who do you got?
I got Rhea. More that was quite the prediction, man. I don't, Io turning on Rhea, like you're not expecting it. But Rhea is that girl in the women's division, and she might be even top 1 or top 2 in all of WWE. So yeah, I got Rhea going over.
Perfect. And Tyler.
I like what Mar was saying. I'm going to go a little different route, though. I feel like, especially the way they've been doing it, they've been doing the Io stuff. I feel like that's coming. I don't know if they'll do it at Mania yet, but Rhea's really been outnumbered now that she has her baddies and stuff. And I feel like this could be a good spot for Bianca to come back and take out Jade at some point, and then Rhea picks up the victory. But I just feel like it'd be a good moment for a return for her which I don't know if she's ready to roll or not, but it just seems like it kind of writes itself that she's going to eventually come back and go and do something with Jade, and why not do it in the biggest match of her career, really?
Perfect. And who do you got, Mem?
I feel like Rhea's probably going to win. She's really haven't like done anything significant to get one over on Jade. So I feel like she has to kind of win. Plus Jade hasn't really been doing much with the title, and I also feel like there'll be riots in Vegas if Rhea does lose.
Awesome. And Anthony?
Yeah, I'll also be taking Rhea winning here. For the Rumble and the Chamber, I predicted Bianca Belair coming back. I feel like I'm a bad luck curse, so I'm not going to say that this time. As much as I would love to see it, I'd love to see her get involved. I do see Rhea going over. I'm not sure how. We're definitely going to see BFAB and Michin get involved some way. We're probably going to have Io ringside taking them out. But if we don't get the Bianca Belair here, her return, I think Rhea is going to win, hopefully clean. I feel like she can take out, Jade on her own. We haven't seen much offense in this feud between the two, so I would like to see this match be hard-hitting.
Perfect. And Brian, who do you got?
Yeah, so this one for me, definitely this build-up has been a little bit slower for me. I think this is the only main event title that Rhea hasn't won thus far in her career. But they're trying to make Jade an attraction. She's one of those type of competitors. So I don't know how they could have her be joined by BFAB and Michin just to lose to Rhea a couple weeks later. Could we get the Io turn? Possibly. Could we get a Bianca return? But I just think, we could continue this story or play off of it. So I think Jade's going to retain here, actually.
Yeah, and I'll be going the other way here and taking Rhea Ripley. I mean, for some reason with Jade Cargill, when it comes to WWE, they just her run's been pretty cold, and I feel like they want Rhea to take that title off of her. We haven't seen Rhea in singles title action in a while, so I'm glad she's back to where she was before. But when it comes to this match, I'm just simply going to take Rhea Ripley here. And to close off WrestleMania, we have CM Punk versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. Mar, who do you got winning the World Heavyweight belt?
I got the best in the world, CM Punk. I don't think it's smart to put the belt on Roman, as he barely shows up now. I think Roman was a good placeholder because the original, I don't think we were originally going to CM Punk and Roman before all the injuries. So I think Roman was good for star power, but in all reality, I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like something crazy is going to happen at Mania. I don't know if we get Jay turning. I don't know if we get The Rock coming back and costing Roman and setting up 43, Rock versus Roman. But I just don't see it realistically, Roman leaving with the belt, because at this point, it just don't make no sense. He's adamant that he want to be a full-time Pops, and people will literally want somebody to take the belt off him when realizing how bad his part-time schedule is a month into his reign. So I'm going to CM Punk.
Perfect. And Josh?
So I got Roman, and I'm still torn, even though I just said Roman. But I love Punk, and I'm not sure what Roman's schedule is, for the next 2-3 years. But I feel like his time is running up, and I think he'll be good for one more near full-time run with the title.
Perfect. And Tyler?
Honestly, this match is the one I am the most torn on because I could see it going either way. I really... I haven't really even made my mind up on this one yet, but I think I kind of want to lean towards Punk retaining. I just feel like because I like you said, like it was brought up, we don't know what Roman's schedule is coming forward, and I do agree with this. This could be his last like run for at least a longer run, but at the same time, I don't know. I just feel like if you take the title off Punk now, I don't know. I think it'd be better to keep it on him and just continue with some of the stuff that was kind of started before people started getting hurt, and kind of roll back to that later on this year.
Perfect. And Mem, who do you got?
I'm kind of 50-50 on this one. I think it definitely depends on Roman's schedule, and I feel like I kind of leaning more towards Punk winning, because I feel like if Roman is going to win, he will have to be there more, and I just don't know if he is necessarily like able to be there more. And I also feel like some people would be kind of upset if Roman won, just because he is like rarely there. So I think Punk, but I don't know, because it is Roman Reigns after all.
Perfect. And Anthony.
Tyler, you took the words out of my mouth again. I believe that Braun Breaker was supposed to be the one to dethrone CM Punk. Obviously, the injury, with Seth also just ruined it all. So I think Punk is going to retain here. I believe we're going to see the Usos come down. I would like to see a Crash Out Jay kind of, be the reason of this. Maybe we see a tag team match at Backlash, Punk and Jimmy versus Roman and Jay, something like that. I'm not too big on the idea of The Rock coming back just because he hasn't finished like 3 other storylines. And I'm scared that if he were to come back, he would leave this one again. So give me Punk returning from shenanigans because of the Usos.
Perfect. And moving to you, Brian.
Yeah, so it is a toss-up for me as well, but as of today, this is day 737 that Roman has not had gold. So if you put that into perspective, that's now over half the time that he had his historic reign of 1,316 days. So half the time removed from the title picture, and to put a guy in his 11th WrestleMania main event, even if he is, going out, pretty soon, I don't know if you could really go against that. So I'm gonna have to go Roman here.
Yeah, and for me, because I know next year's their money show in Saudi, so I know we mentioned them. I don't really want to see this happen, but I think if I can make a talk out of my ass, I think The Rock is going to come down here. I think The Rock's going to make it look like he's going to hit CM Punk with a rock bottom or some sort, and I think he's going to turn to Roman and cost Roman this match. Do I want to see that? No, but if I'm thinking what the creative is thinking, probably. Who knows if we'll see The Rock, but I think I'm going to take CM Punk here because of The Rock, some sort of interference here. But yeah, we're in WrestleMania season, everyone. So before we wrap this up, I'll go through each creator, let them, share where you can find them. But starting with you, Mar, where can our fans find you on social media?
You can find me at MarWrasslin everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm everywhere at MarWrasslin.
Perfect. And you, Josh?
So I know on the screen this is Dropkick, and I didn't fill out the rest of my username here, but it's Dropkick Discussions on Instagram, on TikTok, and YouTube.
Perfect. And Tyler?
I'm at TylerWrestles on pretty much anything social. All my links are on TylerWrestles.com, and I stream live for definitely Raw and SmackDown every week, sometimes NXT and Dynamite, and obviously PLEs and pay-per-views.
Perfect. And Mem, where can the people find you?
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at who's it's not Memmy 44.
Perfect. And last but not least, Brian.
Yeah, so on Instagram you can find me at OverandBuried Pod. TikTok you can find me at OverandBuried, And I'm also starting a t-shirt company. So you can find me at Thank You for the House.
Perfect. And for everyone watching, I'll find all their links, throw them below. We'll be doing more of these creator collabs, as the PLEs, we get to Backlash, get to SummerSlam. So tune in for those. When it comes to me and Anthony, it's Over the Top Talk. We're heavy on Instagram and TikTok right now. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to sub and like. And we're in WrestleMania season, so expect lots of content from us moving forward. And with no further ado, we hope you guys enjoy your WrestleMania weekend.
Thank you guys.
1,